I'm Jim Snoxell, CEO of Henningsen & Snoxell, and I chair this law firm's business and nonprofit organization practice group. It's winter. This is actually being recorded on January 14th, and it's cold outside and snowing in Minnesota. That happens a lot here. Okay, it's a little late for the traditional New Year's resolution, and so I'm not going to talk about all of the personal resolutions we make, and then usually by about now we've stopped following. But a lot of us who are engaged in business and a lot of us who are associated with nonprofit organizations should give a little thought to New Year's resolutions for those organizations as well. I'm somebody who's particularly big on having policies and procedures in place to help ensure that the important functions of an organization are done in an appropriate way and are kept current. Well, so that means having an annual meeting, that means doing periodic reviews of policies and procedures. All are important steps to maintain the good functioning of either a nonprofit organization, a church, or a business. It's easy to overlook. We're all busy. There's a lot of things we need to get done. Beginning of the year, there's a lot of cleanup for the activity at the end of the previous year, but it's a good time to sit back and make a couple of decisions. So in very general terms, give serious thought to what kind of an annual meeting your organization should have. My church has its annual meeting of the members coming up in a couple of weeks. A lot of nonprofit organizations, especially those that have members, are going to have an annual meeting at the beginning of the year. There are a lot of formalities that should be addressed at that time, everything from hearing reports about the last year, hearing projections from the leadership about what is going to be priorities in the coming year. It's all part of the communication process and fulfilling, in some cases, legal obligations to communicate with the members. In addition, well-run businesses, well-run nonprofit organizations have all sorts of policies and procedures in place. Those are important to make sure that similar situations are being handled in the same way. They're important because they give guidance to staff about how things should be handled. And of course, there are documents like an employee handbook that communicate directions to staff and volunteers. Well, the problem with policies and procedures is practices evolve. People take shortcuts, they forget the details, and so they just do something that works under the circumstances. But we depart from what's written down. So doing a review of all of your policies and procedures from time to time is really important. Well, if you're like my little law firm, you've got so many policies, procedures, directives, and other things out there. There is no way leadership is ever going to be able to sit down and intentionally just go through everything and bring things up to date. So break it down into little pieces, one at a time. I've set a goal for myself to review a number of this firm's governing documents and policies and procedures, trying to do one a month, which would mean by the end of the year, the principal ones would have all been reviewed and updated. Not ideal. Everything would be great to just get it done at one time and be out of the way, but hey, life is real and you can't do everything that needs to be done all at the same time. Breaking it down in pieces makes it easier. So just a thought, not legal advice. I urge you to consult with your attorneys about the kinds of things I'm talking about here. And best wishes. And if you're in Minnesota with me, enjoy the snow. Keep in mind that Henningsen & Snoxell is a law firm located in Minnesota. Our attorneys are licensed to practice law only in Minnesota. This little conversation has not been a source of legal advice, does not create an attorney-client privilege relationship between any listener and the law firm, and is not a solicitation for legal services. Thanks for listening.